Denial is a psychological shield, our mind's way of protecting us from overwhelming truths. It's a defense mechanism that can feel almost automatic, stepping in to soften the blow of reality when it feels too harsh or sudden to accept. It's an emotional reflex, like pulling away from a hot stove, giving us a moment to process shock or grief. In these moments, denial can be a necessary pause, allowing us to catch our breath before facing what's ahead. For example, someone might initially reject a devastating diagnosis, insisting that there must be a mistake, or feeling numb and unable to process the information right away. Or a family member might downplay a loved one's addiction because the truth is too much to face. They might make excuses, hoping the problem will resolve itself, or simply avoid talking about it altogether. This kind of denial is usually unconscious and temporary, helping us gather strength. It gives us a brief window to adjust emotionally, so we're not overwhelmed all at once. The problem arises when denial becomes a permanent state, a way to avoid responsibility rather than just pain. Instead of helping us cope, it can start to block growth and healing. When someone repeatedly refuses to acknowledge facts, especially about their own harmful behavior, denial shifts from self-protection to evasion. It becomes a barrier that keeps us from seeing the impact of our actions. This is where denial crosses the line, becoming a tool to avoid accountability. It can damage relationships and prevent real solutions from emerging. Everyday denial is common. We all do it to some degree to cope with life's hardships. It's a natural part of being human, especially when we're under stress or facing uncertainty. But it's crucial to recognize when denial stops being a fleeting buffer and becomes a conscious refusal to accept reality. Noticing this shift is the first step toward making healthier choices. When denial is used to ignore harm inflicted on others, it transforms into something destructive. Facing the truth, even when it's painful, is essential for healing ourselves and supporting those around us. When denial becomes an active strategy, it's weaponized. In narcissistic abuse, the abuser denies their actions not out of forgetfulness, but to maintain control and avoid accountability. They might say, "I never said that, you're too sensitive," shifting blame onto the victim. This tactic isn't just about denial, it's about attacking your character and making you question your reality. In group settings like workplace bullying, coordinated denial can make a victim feel isolated and paranoid. The goal is to dismantle the victim's trust in their own perceptions, leaving them vulnerable. Weaponized denial is about escaping responsibility and keeping the victim confused and powerless. The burden of proof and emotional distress falls on the victim, while the abuser remains protected. Repeated weaponized denial is a powerful tool that creates deep confusion in the mind of its target. It's not just a single moment of doubt, but a persistent, calculated effort to undermine someone's sense of what is real. Over time, this relentless denial breeds self-doubt and anxiety in the victim's mind, making them question even their most basic perceptions. When someone you trust constantly denies your reality, you start to question your own memory, your judgment, and even your sanity. The ground beneath you feels less and less stable. This is gaslighting, a form of psychological abuse that chips away at your confidence, making you feel like you can't trust your own mind. Over time, you internalize the abuser's narrative, believing you're the problem, and that your feelings or memories are somehow flawed or unreliable. This self-doubt makes you easier to control, less likely to reach out for help, and more dependent on the abuser for validation. The victim becomes trapped in a cycle, seeking reassurance and validation from the very person who is denying their reality, hoping for acknowledgement that never comes. As trust in oneself erodes, so does trust in others, leading to a deep sense of isolation and loneliness that can feel impossible to escape. The abuser's denial creates a world where the victim feels utterly alone, cut off from support, and unsure of their own reality. This isn't just about disagreeing over facts. It's about systematically destroying a person's sense of self, their confidence, and their ability to trust their own mind. The manipulator's goal is to erase the truth of the abuse, leaving the victim unable to identify the harm or even speak out about it. When the victim can no longer trust their own perceptions, the abuser has total control, shaping the victim's reality to fit their own narrative. The denial of denial is complete, leaving the victim isolated, powerless, and unsure of who they truly believe. Let's see how denial unfolds in everyday situations, often in ways that are subtle but deeply damaging. Take Sarah and her partner, Mark. In front of their friends, Mark belittles Sarah, making jokes at her expense and brushing off her feelings as if they don't matter. When Sarah tries to address it later, Mark flatly denies any wrongdoing. "I never said that," he insists, acting surprised and even offended by her accusation. If she pushes further, Mark minimizes the situation. "It was just a joke, you're too sensitive." He turns the blame back on her, making her question her own reactions. Later, when Sarah reminds him of a promise he made, Mark insists, "You never asked me," planting seeds of doubt in her mind and making her second-guess her own memory. Over time, this constant denial chips away at Sarah's confidence. She starts to question her own memory, her judgment, and even her sense of reality. Mark's denial isn't just a simple lie. It's a calculated campaign to make Sarah distrust herself, leaving her feeling isolated and confused. This pattern isn't limited to relationships. In the workplace, David faces subtle harassment from coworkers who exclude and undermine him, making him feel unwelcome. When David finally reports the harassment, the group denies everything, acting innocent and making him appear paranoid or overly sensitive to others. Their coordinated denial not only isolates David, but also destroys his credibility, making it nearly impossible for him to get support or validation. In both Sarah's and David's cases, denial isn't just about avoiding blame. It's a deliberate tactic to erode the victim's confidence, sanity, and sense of self. The denial of the act slowly becomes denial of the victim's reality, making them question everything they know to be true. This ongoing pattern of denial maintains control, keeps the abuse hidden from others, and traps the victim in a cycle of self-doubt. Weaponized denial is a powerful tool for manipulation, allowing abusers to rewrite reality and maintain their power over others. Weaponized denial is even more potent when used by those in power. Politicians and executives often respond to accusations with forceful denials. That never happened. Their public platforms amplify these denials, creating doubt and confusion. Even with evidence, a confident denial can muddy the truth and stall accountability. If denial fails, they deflect, attacking accusers or shifting focus to unrelated issues. This manipulation erodes public trust and teaches that truth is relative for the powerful. When leaders escape consequences through denial, society becomes cynical, and justice weakens. The lesson: with enough influence, you can rewrite reality. To resist weaponized denial, we need to understand its language. Denial here means a deliberate refusal to acknowledge truth, not simple forgetfulness. Weaponization is turning a defensive tactic into an offensive tool to harm and control. When denial is weaponized, it's no longer about self-protection. It's about dominance. Deflection is another tactic, shifting blame or changing the subject to avoid accountability. For example, if you confront someone about a broken promise, they might accuse you of being unforgiving instead. Deflection and denial work together to confuse and destabilize. Truth manipulation is the broader strategy, systematically distorting reality to suit the manipulator. Gaslighting combines these tactics to replace your truth with theirs. The ultimate aim: to make you doubt your own perceptions and prevent accountability. The first step in resisting weaponized denial is recognizing it as manipulation, not misunderstanding. Notice the patterns: repeated denial, blame shifting, and conversations that leave you doubting yourself. Ground yourself in your own reality. Keep a private journal of events and feelings. This record isn't for the abuser, but for you, to anchor your sense of truth. Stop seeking validation from those committed to denial. Calmly state your reality and refuse to argue. Set boundaries. I know what I experienced, and I won't debate it. Seek support from trusted friends, family, or a therapist who understands psychological abuse. External validation can help break the isolation and reinforce your reality. Reclaiming your truth is a process. Trust yourself, build a support system, and remember you don't need the manipulator's permission to believe your own experiences. The antidote to denial is clarity, support, and self-trust. You have the right to your own reality. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, please subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Click the subscribe button below and join our community.